Well, here's what Donald Trump woke up to. Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign more than doubled Donald Trump's campaign in fundraising. You see it right there. Vice President Kamala Harris raising $310 million in the month of July. Donald Trump raising only $139 million in the month of July. Donald Trump continues to decline in the polls where he was previously leading. He is now losing. The latest from RMG of 3,000 registered voters now has Vice President Kamala Harris up 5. The last poll by RMG had Donald Trump up 2, a massive swing in that poll consistent with the trends that we've been seeing. So what does Donald Trump do? He goes on Fox this morning with Maria Bartiromo and gives a awful interview, again showing how scared he is to debate Vice President Kamala Harris. Here he is basically trying to justify why he's too scared to debate Vice President Kamala Harris. Watch this.
On the debate, she's taunting you now. She's saying he doesn't want to debate me. Say it to my face, President Trump. That's what she said the other night.
Look, she's a third-rate candidate. She failed in her attempt to, against many other candidates. You know, she was the first one to drop out. She never made Iowa. And that was when you had a normal press. Now you have a press that's trying to protect her. The media is really dishonest. And you have a press that's trying, so maybe she'll do better. I don't know. But I think ultimately when...
Then Donald Trump in this interview goes on this rant about Google and how he thinks Google's going to be, done soon and how Google's over. Lots of bad things happen. I don't even understand what he's saying here. Watch this.
Google, nobody called from Google. One of the things like doing a show like yours, your show, you see it on Fox. But where you really see it is all over the place. They take clips of your show that you're doing right now with me. And if I do a good job, they're going to vote for me. They're going to vote for me because it's not just on Fox. It's on Fox is a smaller part of it. You're on all over those little beautiful cell phones. You're all over the place. You have a product. You have a great product. You have a great brand. So you have to get out. You have to get out. You have to do things like your show and other shows. And Google has been very bad. They've been very irresponsible. And I have a feeling that Google is going to be close to shut down. Donald
Trump then shows more weakness by saying, why should I debate her? Everyone knows who I am. Here, play this clip.
They say, oh, Trump's, not doing the debate. That's the same thing they'll say now. I mean, right now I say, why should I do a debate? I'm leading in the polls. And everybody knows her. Everybody knows me.
Let's put that in contrast to what Vice President Kamala Harris and President Biden were doing last night when they negotiated the prisoner swap, or as I like to say, as Russia kept innocent Americans there hostage. Vice President Harris and President Biden brought them home. Here's what Vice President Kamala Harris said last night. Contrast what she's doing, the job of actually running a country, to Donald Trump sitting there in Mar-a-Lago or wherever he is, just kind of ranting and raving like a lunatic. Watch this.
Madam Vice President, how do you feel?
This is an extraordinary day, and I'm very thankful for our president and what he has done over his entire career, but in particular as it relates to these families and these individuals, what he has been able to do to bring the allies together on many issues, but in particular this one. This is just an extraordinary testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy and understands the strength that rests in understanding the significance of diplomacy and strengthening alliances. This is an incredible day.
Going back to Donald Trump's disastrous interview from earlier in the morning, then Donald Trump goes on this rant about crypto and Bitcoin. It's clear that Donald Trump has no clue what crypto or Bitcoin is. But Donald Trump says, well, what if we can eliminate all of the debt with a Bitcoin? Here, play this clip.
What about crypto? You spoke at that crypto conference last weekend, and you said that you'd like crypto to have a more prominent space in America.
Well, you have to understand about crypto. Crypto is a very interesting thing, very high level in certain ways, intellectually very high level. But if we don't do it, China's going to do it. China's going to do it anyway. But if we don't do it, China's doing it. China's already doing it. And if we don't do it, other countries are going to do it. So we might as well be at the forefront. And there are people in crypto that are very, very smart people who do love our country, and they think it's good. Who knows? Maybe we'll pay off our $35 trillion, hand them a little crypto check, right? We'll hand them a little Bitcoin and wipe out our $35 trillion.
But how do you want it to be more prominent in America? How will that work?
Oh, it's going to work easily. It's already prominent. It's moving along. It's very loosely regulated. That's one of the reasons it's moving along. But it is a different form of a currency, and it's going to end up benefiting the country. But if we shut it down, like, Biden's trying to shut it down, Biden doesn't have the intellect to shut it down. Can you imagine this guy's telling you to shut something down like that? He has no idea what the hell it is.
By the way, Donald Trump added $8 trillion of debt, and Donald Trump was the one responsible for inflation. Don't believe me? Let me just show you what Republicans said about Donald Trump adding $8 trillion of debt, which is what causes inflation. Here, play this clip.
And you know who else is missing in action? Donald Trump is missing in action. He should be on this stage tonight. He owes it to you to defend his record where they added $7.8 trillion to the debt. That set the stage for the inflation that we have now.
Then Donald Trump in that same interview shows more fear about debating Vice President Kamala Harris. Like, the whole thing is just him saying how scared he is to debate her. Here, watch this.
She's terrible. She's not respected in foreign countries. I mean, she's laughed at. Everybody can't believe that this is happening. Look,
she's polling better than Joe Biden. She
was sent to see Putin about not going into Ukraine. He would have never gone in with me. He went in 3 days later. This is what's happening. So, well, it's a little bit like a fighter, though. You have a fighter and he's winning, and then somebody else is getting punished and beaten. And they say, let's take that fighter out, let's put a new one. That's what they've done here. This was a coup to Joe Biden. And I'm not a fan of Biden. He's not a smart guy, never was. You can go back 30 years, he was never a smart guy. But she's not smart either. She's not a smart person.
Are you going to debate her?
Well, I want to. We're leading in the polls, it seems, by quite a bit still. She's better than he is, but I think ultimately she'll be worse than him. She's more radical than him. He was a phony. She is also, but she's not a phony in terms of policy. She actually wants open borders. She actually wants to defund the police. To me, when you say open borders, defund the police, you don't have to go into the rest of it. But you're going to have tremendously high energy prices. She doesn't want any fossil fuels, which will destroy the country, frankly.
But just to be clear, she's doing a rewrite of history right now. She says that
of her history.
of her history. She says, I don't necessarily mean I will ban fracking now. And she said, well, I don't necessarily need to do Medicare for all. And I was never the border czar. You know that.
Yeah, she's doing a rewrite. No, it's not a rewrite, it's lies. And she also said, and so did he, that we had a very secure border under them. We had the worst border in the history. 20 million people came in. 20 million people. And you know what they do? They just say it. And they keep saying it. The press helps them as much as possible. But they say very strongly, we had a great border. And people say, it's funny. You say it enough times and people start to believe it, too. That's the scary part. They are, it's like a whole con job. It's misinformation, disinformation at the highest level. So now their new thing is, we had a safe border. We had a wonderful border. And they hope people forget. Now, a lot of people aren't, but enough people are. And it's amazing that they can say it. We had the worst border in history. Joe Biden was the worst president in history. She was the worst vice president. She was the most unpopular and least respected vice president in the history of our country. And now what's happened is the press is trying to make her popular. I don't think they'll be able to do it.
Here was President Biden from last night, where he was with Vice President Kamala Harris at Andrews Air Force Base. The media asks him like the worst questions. They're like, would you have done this if you weren't going to be stepping aside and not seeking re-election? Biden's like, of course I would be doing this. What are you talking about? Here, play this clip.
Mr. President, we understand that a very important call that day. Prime Minister of Slovenia gave hours before you announced that you were going to be leaving the 2024 race. Can you talk to us a little bit about how important it was for you to get this deal done, knowing that you were not going to seek a second term? Was it very important?
I still get it done even if I was seeking a second term. I'm still, you're stuck with me as president for a while, kid. There's no way out, okay? You got me for at least another 100 or 90 days or so. So it did not even do with that. It had to do with the opportunity and trying to convince one last country to say, okay, they'll step up.
Then President Biden's asked what his message to Putin would be. Watch this.
It's about who we are. It's about who we are as a country.
What is your message tonight to Vladimir Putin?
Stop.
Notably, Chuck Schumer was interviewed last night, and Chuck Schumer was asked about Donald Trump calling him Hamas. I mean, Chuck Schumer's Jewish, Donald Trump's not Jewish, and he's calling Chuck Schumer Hamas. And Chuck Schumer was saying, "Look, I was in the Senate gym the other day, and all the Republicans are saying Trump's going to lose, and that Trump's going to drag down everybody else now. Here, watch this clip. Play it."
When you talk bipartisanship, it gives all of us hope. But I'm going to talk about someone who's not into bipartisanship. And that is Donald Trump. He is making this race about gender. He is making it about identity. And just yesterday, he referred to you, the highest ranking Jewish American member of our government.
Ever. Jewish ever.
As a proud member of Hamas.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to get your reaction, but also, what do you do with that? Because that makes its way through right-wing media circles.
Yeah, but all different things make their way through right-wing media. Look, it's ridiculous. The lower Donald Trump gets in the polls, the more unhinged he is. He's unhinged right now. He's scared. A leading Republican senator said to me in the gym this morning, not in the gym, in one of the rooms we were in, he said, "We're going to lose because of this guy."
Would you like to tell us what Republican senator that was?
I was
just checking.
But good try. But look, Kamala Harris is scaring him. He's even afraid to debate her. She is proven. She has a great record with Biden. She has practiced. She's been a super prosecutor and did a great job when she was in the Senate. And she's primed. Stephanie, I have never in a long time seen such enthusiasm for.
Found this interesting as well. J.D. Vance posted his first TikTok earlier in the day. All of the comments on the TikTok are about couches. J.D. Vance did the TikTok around couches. So everyone's saying, that's a lot of couches, J.D. Had to give him some good couches, not the couches. Oh my God, protect those couches. Those couches look comfy. Oh no, not the couches. I did a couch. Just got his own couch. Give him more couches. I mean, there's like thousands of, all the comments are about couches. Also, one other notable development today in kind of the MAGA world, which is worth informing you and telling you about. So Kyle Rittenhouse, remember Kyle Rittenhouse? He's not voting for Donald Trump. And so he announced he's not supporting Donald Trump. And this created this whole massive feud within kind of the MAGA world, if you will. And so the big MAGA influencer, Cat Turd, said, "Bye forever. I can stomach a lot of things, but backstabbing millions who supported you at your lowest point, then turning on Trump right after he got shot. Can't stomach it, won't put up with it. Forgotten forever." As Kyle Rittenhouse says that he's going to write in Ron Paul. Ron Filipkowski, our editor-in-chief, goes, "It's almost like making a hero out of a kid solely because he killed people, despite the fact that he has no education, never had a job or career, and showed all the signs of being a lazy, dishonest grifter with a low IQ was a bad idea. Hey, but they loved Rittenhouse, and they love Trump." Well said, Ron. Keep you posted as we learn more here on the MeidasTouch Network, but wanted to share that update with you. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe right now. It's free to subscribe. We're almost at 3 million subscribers. And also, if you want to support the network, you can do it at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Thanks for watching.
Hey, Meidas Mighty. Love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.